Hello everyone and welcome back to the UK Koi channel. Now it's been a while since I last uploaded, maybe about 5-6 days I think, which well is long for me. I just haven't really had a chance to record at all recently. So I thought today I'd get back on track, I don't want to not be posting for you guys, and yeah, everything's doing well. And in today's video we're going to be having a look at my Kujaku koi fry. It's been about a week or maybe even 2 weeks since I last gave you an update on them. So today we're going to be showing them to you, sort of going through each individual fry and sort of talking about my future plans for them. Let's just grab my net and the tub. And now I've got all I need to catch the fry, so let's take a walk around to the pond now and catch up the fish. And here we are at the pond. You have to excuse the wind. I haven't got my microphone with me at the moment, so the quality might be a bit poor, but as you can see, the water quality is doing really well in here. I've started to feed them on crumb now as well, which they quite enjoy, but quite frankly, this spot is getting a bit too small for them. So I have to be thinking of new plans now in terms of where I'm going to be putting these fries so I can grow them on a bit quicker. Now, in terms of filtration, this is all run on reeds and plants. The roots of these plants suck up all the nutrients, and in terms of oxygen levels, I've had no issues in here at all. But let's not babble on about that for too much longer. Let's catch up some fry and show them to you. Also, I've got to fill up the bucket first to put the fish into, and let's get catching. The next task is to simply remove the plants from the pond. It makes it a bit easier, but it also stirs up the dirt at the bottom of the pond. So you have to let the pond sit for about 5, maybe 6 minutes to let all the dirt settle to the bottom of the pond, so water clarity is high enough to see the fish. Once this is done, it is a simple task of scooping up as many fry as I can. This is fortunately quite easy. Using this small hand net, you can scoop about 3, even 4 with each individual scoop. As you can see here, I have a mixture of Kujaku and 2 Kujaku. Really nice fry, really beautiful. All different varies in size. This one here is actually the largest of the bunch, coming in at about 1.5 inches. So I've managed to catch up the first batch of Kujaku koi fry. We'll take them back over to the pond so we can look at them in closer detail. And here we are. Here in front of me I have the first batch of Kujaku koi fry. Now the first thing that's probably standing out to you is this batch is completely mixed. And there is a good reason behind that. And that is to do with the fact that this wasn't a controlled spawning. Now those of you who've been watching my videos would know that my Sankei spawning that happened a few weeks back was a controlled spawning. I picked up the males, I picked up the females. I selected those perfectly to produce the Sankei fry that I wanted. To see more on that, go watch this video here to get a better in-depth describe of what happened to them. But this spawning here was in fact not planned. This was simply eggs that I took out of my main pond. And since the majority of the males in my pond are Kujaku and 2 of my females are Kujaku, the majority of the fry that have come out of this mix are Kujakus. And as you can see here, there's a real disparity in size. You have absolutely massive ones like this one here. Really nice sheen on this one's head here though. Really like this one. And then absolutely tiny ones like this little guy here. And they are all the same age, and this is simply just to do with the amount of food these fry eat. This one here eats a lot more food than that one, and hence it's grown a lot better. Also, genetics play a big role in this, but overall, I'm fairly happy with these considering this wasn't a controlled spawning. And as you can see, there's a real mix. These here look like Kujakus, but they're actually not. These are actually a metallic fish, which you can tell by the fins. If you look at the fins, they have a white sheen on the very end of them, and that tells me that's a metallic fish rather than a Kujaku and such. Same with this one here, this other orange one here. It is also have a similar nature to that one, and therefore I do know that it is not a Kujaku given the sheen of the fry. For contrast, you have this one here, which is definitely a Kujaku, and as you can see, there is no sheen on the head or on the fins. And from that, I know that that is a pure Kujaku. But overall, I'm very happy with this fish. Oh, Fred just knocked the bowl completely sideways. Blimmin' fish just keeps coming at the bowl trying to eat at it, but we'll leave him be. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy with these guys. Not being a controlled spawning definitely set back the overall quality of these fish, and next year I'm going to try and aim to spawn them from a controlled spawning using my Kujaku and males and females, and then from that the quality will be much higher. But in a weird way, it's quite interesting to raise these fry given that they are a mixed bunch. It's quite rare to get such a mixed bunch of fry from a home spawning, so you know, fingers crossed. I'm intrigued to see how these will develop. Some of them are already quite big. This one here is over 1 inch now, and you know, the other ones are coming up to 1 inch, but yeah, I'd be interested to see how these develop. I have actually just caught up here a second batch of fry. The reason I didn't show this batch originally is because there's a few non-Kujaku or non-metallics in here. This one here is actually a Sankei fry that managed to get into the eggs that I had in this particular pond. As you can see from the colorations, I'm 90% sure that's a Sankei. And this one here is also a Kujaku, same with the one next to it. So in this batch here, there's slightly less metallics, but still quite an interesting batch to see. As to how those fry got in there, my best guess is the eggs from the Sankei spawning must have somehow got in. I'm not too sure exactly how, but they're in here nonetheless. And they're doing quite well. Now there is still some Kujaku here. As you can see here, some more metallics there. A much smaller one here as well, might I say, but once again, these guys are really doing well health-wise. As for next steps, I really have two choices with these Kujaku fry. I can either empty out this tank here and place them in here, which is a possibility, but it'll take a lot more effort because I've got to empty out the whole area, take all of these guys out the pond, get the goldfish all out, and then put these guys in here. The other option is to take them to my aquarium at home. Now, those of you who've been watching my videos would know that I did keep some of my fry in a tank at home. They did quite well, in fact. Over winter, they grew quite massively. And that's the next option that I could possibly do with these guys, and that's probably more likely. So I have to have a little plan with that about tackling that. So if you have any ideas in the comments, do let me know. I'm a bit limited for space at the moment when it comes to growing on these guys, but you know, I'm open to ideas, to be completely honest. But these guys are doing quite well, so we're getting back over to their pond. Don't want to keep them out for too long. I have just got them all in this net here whilst I was trying to take a thumbnail for the video. And I thought whilst I have them in here, might as well show them to you as they look a lot nicer in here. Obviously taking a thumbnail, gotta make it look good. They're all in here at once here, and as you can see, I think it's something to do with the lighting at this particular time, but they look really good at the moment. I really like the sheen on this one's head, to be completely honest, both of them, but couldn't be happier with these fry. They're doing so well. But we're getting back into their home now. Don't want to keep them out for too much longer. Let's carry them back over now. I've one final look at them before they go back in. Really nice fry, once again, but back in they go into their home. Off they all go. They're looking really great in here though, so I need to move them out in the next couple of weeks so they can grow a bit quicker, but I have no real worries at the moment for them. I also just thought whilst I'm here, I'll answer a few questions I got about the fry regarding culling and what I'm feeding them. To start with culling, in terms of culling, I'm not really culling anything other than deformed fry, and those are ones with either missing eyes, missing fins, missing gills, or any large sort of body defect in the fry. Those are the ones I'm culling at the moment, and the culling process for me really is just putting them into my main pond for food for my fish. It is a bit gruesome, but it's just a circle of life really. That means my fish get some more protein. In terms of the lower quality ones, I'm not culling them just because I have quite a small batch, so there's really no need to cull. I have plenty of space to raise these fries, so I have no interest in culling them at the moment. And in terms of food, well, it's a real mix. There's the natural larvae that are in the ponds, you get the fry larvae and such. There's also small isopods and invertebrates in the water. I'm not too sure on the name. I'll put a photo up of them here so you get an idea. And on top of that, also brine shrimp and daphnia, which I have in a small pond out over there. They're not sort of naturally growing in there. And then now I've started to put them onto a crumb which I had left over from my fry, and I'll show that crumb now. Now this is the crumb here. It's from Cuttlebutt Koi Farm. Bought this a while back, had some left over from the fry, and as you can see, it's just a very fine crumb. Now I'm only feeding this in small amounts. This is only for the slightly larger Sankei and Kujaku fry, but I'm going to start moving them onto this soon as they get into the size now where they can eat it. Now I think millimeter wise, this is the 0.5. Yeah, 0.5 to 0.8 millimeters fry food, but it's really good stuff. I really like it, and that's sort of the food I am feeding them. Mainly live stuff. I find that live food's much better for the fry, as it's just far more natural and higher in protein. I find, you know, sort of natural bugs tend to be higher in protein, which helps the fry go a lot faster. But it's really up to you. You can feed artificial or natural foods. I will always say natural, as natural tends to be the better benefit, and I'd lean towards more daphnia and brine shrimp. But it's really up to your personal choices, as I know sort of breeding daphnia and brine shrimp can be quite difficult. You can buy frozen daphnia and brine shrimp, that's really up to you, but I do prefer to use live foods for my fry. Once again, the guys inside are doing quite well. All these will be going soon. I'm going to be getting some new fish for in here, which will be coming in a recent video. I've been getting rid of a lot of my older fish that I had in here, so I had a bit of money saved up now, and I can possibly buy some new fish to come in, but that'll be in a video coming up. I'm sure some of you can guess what that might be, but I'm going to keep it a secret for now. As for these guys here, they'll be going outside soon. Of course, I'd be quite sad because I love having Fred in here. Well, evidently I like having Fred in here. I mean, very friendly fish. They're a lot easier to sort of like interact with in here, but for their own sakes, I want to move them outside so they can enjoy a slightly larger pond, which would be much better for these guys. And the other ones that are going outside is this one here, which is actually one of the fry from about a year ago. If you'd have been watching my really old videos, which were, well, quite poorly made, which hence the views they got. Funnily enough though, some of my really old videos probably got more views than these videos. I think one's on 42,000 now, and looking back at that video, it was very poorly produced. I don't know how I got so many views, but you know, hey ho, I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, these guys are doing well. We'll grab them some food now. There you guys go. Very greedy fish. It's because it's so warm in here. The water in here is about 23, 24 degrees. So the fishes and metabolisms are at the highest possible amount. Same with the goldfish. I've got a couple of fancy goldfish in here. I don't even know why. I don't know how these guys got in here, but they absolutely love it. Very funny looking fish. I've never really been a fan of fancy goldfish, but they've got quite a personality, so I kept those guys in here. And then the rest of them are just comet goldfish or shabumpkin goldfish. Excuse the dog, it's been barking all day. But the rest of them are just ones that I'm getting rid of. But we'll go feed the guys outside as well. And here we are outside. Once again, excuse the wind. Might ruin the audio quality. My microphone isn't here at the moment, so have to excuse that. These guys are doing quite well though. You'll notice the water quality has been improving. With a multitude of things really. Filter floss and water changes have done a great job of getting rid of all the mud sediment in here. I mean, it's still pretty murky, but over the next couple of weeks it should go away. Give these guys some food now whilst we're at it. There you guys go. That's the mum of the fry, by the way, this one here. And the dads, well, I don't know. Possibly this guy here. And also a multitude of quite smaller Kujaku males, like that one there. You didn't really catch glimpses of them, but like I said, this was a spawning that happened in this pond. And in fact, it was actually in these lily pads here that I collected quite a few of the eggs. Also, especially over on the other side of the pond. Actually around this area, on this reed here, there was thousands. I couldn't quite get those, but nonetheless, there was a lot of eggs in the pond at this point. These guys are all doing really well in here. So fingers crossed it all keeps going at that sort of level. The chagoy is doing quite well. It's grown really long. It's quite an interesting chagoy though. It's quite long rather than wide. Although I thought that might have been because it was a male. Unfortunately, it's not a male, it's a female. So that's a bit of an odd one there, but these guys are doing really well. Anyway, that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you did enjoy. Make sure to leave a like and comment down below. I'll respond to your comments. So if you have any questions or anything you want to say, I'll respond to you. And yeah, make sure to subscribe and I'll catch you in the next one.